Yeah, yeah.
He would enjoy it because I think he would enjoy it because it's spreading the martial arts and just the influence of our movie, Enter the Dragon, when it's done.
I don't care if it's football player, basketball player, corporate world, whatever it may be, there's usually a lot of sacrifice. So, and I refuse to.
Jim Kelly, the martial arts star, always had a presence that drew attention even before he appeared on screen. His steady gaze, his impeccable posture, and the fluid way he moved revealed far more than simple physical ability. They showed confidence, personality, and inner strength. But long before becoming a legendary name in 1970s martial arts cinema, his story began far from the spotlight. Are you enjoying this story, Jim Kelly's? Then help the channel with your subscription. Look, 94. 8% of the people who watch these videos are still not subscribed to the channel. If you are part of that group, take the chance and subscribe now. It's free. And that way, you'll keep receiving amazing stories from TV shows we still miss. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video, you'll find more stories like this one. Born in a time when opportunities for black artists were scarce, Jim faced challenges early in life, both in the world and in the sport. Yet every barrier shaped his competitive spirit even more. He discovered in martial arts a path to express his authenticity. He was fast, precise, and disciplined. And above all, he possessed a style of his own that no one could duplicate. The fluidity of his strikes, the elegance of his movements, and the combination of charisma with technique made him a unique figure on the mat. Over the years, Jim became a constant presence in tournaments, gathering victories and respect. His name started circulating among athletes, instructors, and martial arts enthusiasts. But it was his fearless attitude that caught the attention of agents and producers. He wasn't just a fighter, he was a natural performer. His body language, the way he held himself, the energy he transmitted even while standing still, all of it aligned perfectly with what Hollywood needed at that moment. Martial arts cinema was exploding around the world, and there was demand for new faces, new styles, new personalities. However, despite the interest, Jim knew the path wouldn't be easy. Hollywood in the 1970s was marked by racial prejudice and the absence of black leads in roles that were strong, heroic, and respected. But this never intimidated him. He believed that if he was meant to open doors, he would do so with the same force with which he executed a precise strike. And with that mindset, he received the invitation to play Williams in Enter the Dragon alongside Bruce Lee. This would be the moment that changed his life and placed him in the history of global cinema. When Jim arrived on set, he impressed everyone. Stuntmen, directors, makeup artists, and fellow actors. There was no need for him to say anything. His mere presence carried authority. Bruce Lee, always demanding with those who shared scenes with him, saw in Jim someone capable of keeping up with his rhythm, someone who understood what it meant to film real martial arts, not moves executed artificially, but techniques performed with authenticity, fluidity, and precision. The two connected instantly. Bruce admired Jim's presence. Jim admired Bruce's genius. Together, they electrified the film. Jim Kelly's fight scenes became instantly iconic. His speed, his unique style, the way he blended wide movements with precise strikes created a visual signature no one else possessed. He didn't need to copy Chinese or Japanese styles. He was Jim Kelly. And his Afro-American approach, mixed with the discipline of traditional martial arts, created something revolutionary. Audiences recognized this immediately. When the film premiered, millions around the world were captivated by the power and charisma of the fighter, with the immaculate afro, sharp eyes, and unshakable posture. Jim became a symbol, an icon, a reference point, not only for cinema, but for entire communities that had never seen someone like him occupy that space. Hollywood, recognizing the impact, quickly pursued him. Jim began receiving invitations for several films, establishing himself as one of the major martial arts stars of the era. But success didn't turn him into someone distant. He remained the man who trained every day, who respected the discipline of the dojo, who saw martial arts as a spiritual path rather than a mere physical practice. He knew that beyond fame, he carried something more important: the responsibility of representing, of opening doors, of showing that black performers could indeed be heroes, leads, and respected figures. Yet even with success, Jim Kelly faced criticism, hostility, and prejudice throughout his career. Many tried to belittle him, reducing his relevance to his charisma or appearance, but those who knew his journey understood that there was much more beneath the surface. There was technique, study, dedication. He trained in diverse styles, tested combinations, perfected his posture, and kept both body and mind in continuous evolution. Every movie he worked on was treated as an extension of the martial philosophy that guided his life. This authenticity radiated on screen, making audiences feel they were watching an artist and a true martial artist, not an actor mimicking moves. Over time, Jim Kelly became a reference for new generations. Young martial artists, especially African Americans, began seeing him as a symbol of strength and representation. For many, he was the first image showing that a black man could be a hero, could be technical, elegant, powerful, and respected at the same time. His influence spread across the world. Even after stepping away from cinema, Jim continued training, teaching, and inspiring. He was someone who lived what he preached. His humble posture, calm smile, and serene energy contradicted the explosive impact he had on screen. The years passed, but Jim Kelly's legacy did not fade. On the contrary, it grew. As martial arts cinema became a global phenomenon, new generations discovered his films, his fight scenes, his interviews, and when they watched them, they realized something special. Jim wasn't just part of cinematic history, he was part of a cultural transformation that opened space for black protagonists in strong, respected, admired roles. He represented courage, resilience, and authenticity. He represented the perfect blend of art, sport, and identity. Today, when we talk about Jim Kelly's legacy, we aren't just talking about movies or fight scenes. We are talking about impact. We are talking about a man who entered a closed system and left a permanent mark. Someone who inspired thousands of young people to find pride in their roots, strength in their talents, and confidence in their dreams. Jim Kelly proved that technique without authenticity has no soul, and authenticity combined with discipline creates legends. His name continues to echo not just because of what he did in front of the camera, but because of what he represented beyond it. He showed the world that the impossible becomes possible when someone chooses not just to fight, but to fight while staying true to who they are. Are you enjoying this story, Jim Kelly's? Then help the channel with your subscription. Look, 94.8% of the people who watch these videos are still not subscribed to the channel. If you are part of that group, take the chance and subscribe now, it's free. And that way you'll keep receiving amazing stories from TV shows we still miss. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video, you'll find more stories like this one. And in the end, that is the essence of Jim Kelly, a man who did not merely practice martial arts, but lived martial arts. An artist whose presence transcended screens, dojos, and time. An eternal symbol of strength, style, and courage. An icon who will never be forgotten.